Welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here today over at my buddy Phil's house. We're going to do a brake booster delete on his FC RX-7. We are using the ChaseBays kit. I have this kit on my car and I put it on other cars as well. It works really well. The brake pressure is super awesome. A lot of people can get worried that maybe without power brakes you won't have really great braking attributes, but that is not the case. This kit does a really good job in making the brakes feel really good, and I love it. It makes left foot braking a breeze for me. Driving the car is awesome. I can street drive the car, no problem, no issues. So we're gonna put that in this FC RX-7. You're gonna want to undo the lines that go to the master cylinder, this upper one, and then this lower one down here. They're both 10 millimeters. Loosen those up, get those off, and then undo these two nuts on each side of the master cylinder. Those are 12 millimeter. Okay, so now that you have the master cylinder off and the lines are all undone, the next thing is going to be to get that brake booster out of the way. What we have here is we're going to have four 12 millimeter nuts, 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the other side. And then the next thing also you're going to want to do is take this pin out here. There we go. Take that pin out there, slide it out from this side, and that'll undo the brake booster from the brake pedal itself. Okay, now you got all that undone, you got the pin out of the brake pedal, you got the 4 bolts off the firewall there. We'll go ahead and come around to the other side. Make sure you take off this brake booster hose, and then just give her a good old pull, and there it is. There's Phil. Hey. All right, so now we've got the brake booster eliminator mounted in the car. The next step is going to be install the brake bias valve. You're gonna undo this 13 millimeter nut on the bottom of the master cylinder, slide the bias valve on there, tighten that back down, take the metal line that they give you, put it into the master cylinder, and then put it the other end into the T that is on the bias valve. So these two front ports here This one's going to go to the left front brake caliper, this one to the right front, and then the one on the other side here is going to go to your rear brakes. All right, so here's your line walkthrough. This line, kind of medium length, says ChaseBays on it, is going to go from the brake booster eliminator to the left front wheel. This short line is going to go from the brake booster eliminator to the rear factory brake hard line. This really long, not really long, but longer hose is going to go from the brake booster eliminator to the passenger side, passenger front. These two hoses with these thread-in fittings and these fittings on the other side, if you got the brake caliper line kit, these will go to the front calipers. These ones with the banjo bolts will go to the rear calipers. Once you have that all mounted on, the next thing is going to be to remove the factory brake hard lines for the front. So just chase those down, pull them off, take them out. They go down into the wheel wells. You undo this and then pull it out through the engine bay. Same for the passenger side. Just undo it on that side. There's a couple clips holding the line on. Just undo those, follow it, undo it. Same thing on this side. Loosen this, pull it through the engine side, and throw it in the bin or sell it to a buddy or keep it for spare parts. Okay, so we have the front lines, or pretty much all the lines hooked up here. The driver front brake line goes on this side of that T, comes over through the factory grommet. If you do not have this factory grommet, I would highly recommend putting like some extra hose or something around this just so it doesn't chafe against the chassis. Then it comes through and we hooked it up to the we got the ChaseBays brake line kit for the wheel wells. If you don't have it, it'll still go to the factory wheel well brake line. We did adjust this bracket a little bit to make sure that this goes straight through here very smoothly. Sometimes these can get moved and it caused like a little bit of a weird angle on this hose coming through here. So don't feel afraid to adjust that. Make sure that this line goes straight through this hole and doesn't have a weird kink or anything like it. And then we went ahead and we hooked it up to the brake caliper there. That's all set up. And then essentially the same thing for the passenger side inside the wheel well. The passenger fitting goes on the other side of this T, and then up over around through the grommet to the caliper. And then the rear brakes, we have this fitting, and it's going to go down to your factory metal brake hard line. And then just hook that up, and then that just goes to the rear brakes, all said and done. With that being said, the only other thing we have to do is we have to fill this thing up and then bleed it all. I'm not going to do a walkthrough on bleeding out the brake system. There's probably a bajillion YouTube videos that can show you how to bleed a brake system, so that'll be the end of our video here. Thanks, Phil. See you guys later.